Okay, so I've been trying to see how the Instagram live can also be initiated, but error code. Pardon me, I am reporting late today because I am not at my usual venue and I have a few glitches. Thank you for joining. If you're already joining on Bosede Olusola-Obasa, and apologies, I am not able to. Okay, so I'm not able to initiate the live view for those on Mind Your Character. Welcome. So today I wanted to go ahead with okay, so I hope that it has been a wonderful Friday for you so far. How is your weekend turning out? There's so much happening in and around the country. I hope that you're good. I hope that you're fine. I hope that you're safe. And I hope that everything that has to do with you is absolutely okay. It's Mind Your Character with Bosede Olusola-Obasa. And what I do on this show is add value to you. Nothing more, nothing less. What I do on this show is add value to you, and it gives me absolute pleasure to come your way again. I had gone on Facebook this morning to post a clip of last week's show, whetting your appetite for today, because the intention for today is to talk about something else really sensitive. And I'm hoping that we're able to have a great time together, learning to become better. Absolutely learning to become better. If you have followed me, you will know that I usually will say that I don't consider myself an expert. Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. I don't consider myself an expert on any of the subjects that I treat, from personal character to corporate character, to parenting for character, and everything character. I don't consider myself an expert because I'm in the works, and it happens to be an aspect of learning where you seldom would graduate. So if you like, call yourself an expert more than that. You are not supposed to graduate, because the day you graduate, it's probably the day you have left this side of life. So it's absolutely great privilege to be here, and I'm looking forward to a great show. Forgive my bit of distraction. I'm still trying to see how we can have the people on the side of Mind Your Character join us. But anyways, we will share to them. All right, so getting into what we've got for today, since this month began, and particularly from the month of May, when it became 3 months to hosting the National Character Parenting Summit, I started running a series on the theme, the key word for this year's event. And the key word for this year's event is role modeling. So we're looking at role modeling within the context of character parenting. And we have phenomenal people assembled, and they're going to be joining us at the National Character Parenting Summit come August 3rd, a Saturday, 2024. I'm so looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it becoming a launch pad for me to begin to be the role model I should be, the way I should be, learning from the best of people around. You probably have seen the flyer by now. We have Sani Adesoya coming to give the keynote speech. We have Madam Olusola-Obasa as one of the discussants, Mrs. Susan Tayo. We have Mr. David Adigboyega for the discussants. And then we also have two families. I will be hosting a very good friend of mine, childhood friend, okay, teenage friend actually, who is now based in the UK, but whose father was instrumental to my giving my life to Christ, the way I now know it to be. That's the person of late W.A. Badijo. He was a general overseer of Foursquare. I'll be having the pleasure of hosting one of his daughters, Mrs. Okpe Badijo Aturu, the way we have it on the flyer. So she will be telling us the role modeling stories of this fantastic man of God and his wife, raising them. There are a few things I know about these children from that home that beats my imagination. But that's not the show for today. I just wanted to let you know the flyer is out in case you haven't seen it. We've also tried to attach it to virtually every video that we have done recently, including the one that is on my wall right now. And from there, we talk about the second family. So we call them the families we are featuring. What are we featuring them for? Storytelling, just telling us how you've done it till now, or how someone in your space has done it and has made it beautiful for you. So that's what we're going to be having. Then we also have the Toyin Kehinde, the way I'll just put it, they are a great couple, a great family that I revere. They've been I've had the privilege of having them in my space for so long, particularly the wife from when I was a reporter at Punch newspapers. They are a family I know will learn a lot from when it comes to role modeling. So I'm looking forward to having the Toyin Kehindes, Reverend Toyin and Reverend Mrs. Shade Kehinde, to join us on that fire chat, family fire chat, where we are featuring them to tell their story. One of the beautiful things about NCPS, permit me to say a number of things about NCPS before I go into what I have today, just so a lot more people can join us before we get into the art of it. Of course, you can always catch up with the video, no matter what. So I was on the fact that NCPS has unique features. We have the keynote speech, which is always very powerful, and I'm going to be having the honor of hosting Dr. Nia Adesoya, talking about role modeling beyond parenting borders. So do you have to be a parent to someone to role model them, or for them to pick you as a role model? Definitely, he will be giving us answers. And he's a very, very cerebral person. So I'm imagining what dimension of research is going to bring, the truth is going to bring to this. So that's one. The other part is that we're going to have the discourse. And on the discourse, we have a couch that looks like your regular family meeting in your house, where you have people talking about the issues. Questions from the audience will be taken. I will be I usually will anchor that aspect, and in anchoring it also, I'll be leading to ask the questions. Some of the naughty things we've been trying to scratch, at the Mind Your Character show every Friday since May, you're going to have practical, experiential responses to them. So if you care about role modeling, if you care about being a great role model, if you care about having great role models, how to navigate the space of role models, then you do not want to miss the National Character Parenting Summit. So this is again another vibe of invite for you. We're going to have that, and then I did speak about the featured families that we're going to also be having. So today we have an interesting thing to look at. Since I started, I've said a lot from definition to all whatnot about role modeling. Last week I was talking about the fact that role models are human. So I was holding the brief for role models, those who act in that role, those who choose to grow to the point where they are modeling a role or the other. I was holding a brief for them last week and saying that we need to allow them. They are also human. So when they do go wrong in our own assessment, when they do go wrong in the assessment of what is right, when they do go wrong in the assessment of what we think they have signed up for or against, I was saying that we need to be able to understand that they are human. We need to be able to understand that they are human. And their humanity, therefore, means that we must tamper justice with mercy, the way they say, and not just throw them in the garbage trash and say, go away, you are worth nothing for having failed or haven't slipped or haven't faced a scandal. Knowing that for every human, there comes a time when you may be challenged. All right? So that's it about last week. So today, I decided let us look at another aspect of role modeling. And it's the question I actually have answered in one of my shows on Inspiration FM some years ago. It's about when your parent is a negative role model. This is not tales by moonlight. This is reality. There are children who have found themselves under the supervision or what have you of parents who are not actually good role models. They probably make all the laws and break all the laws, and then in the name of being parents, nobody dares question. Make all the laws, break all the laws, but unquestionable. You know, they are the ones that should be singing that song for unquestionable, you are the Lord. And that's the funny side of me. Let me not start. So these parents find themselves breaking every law that is known to them to be law that they're probably made for their children or their family. Maybe some values. They say, oh yeah, we're going to live by these values as this family on this day, so and so. We all agree, so help us God. And they go ahead and break it all. There are reasons why they might or may be breaking it. Sometimes it might not even be something they intended to do out of being careless. Again, I'm not trying to hold grief for negative role models as parents, because to be a parent and then to be a role model is two expectations packed in one, and you just have to look for a way to stay true to it. But I'm saying that for every parent who is seen, known, or found to be a negative role model, there are a number of things to be concerned about. The first is about the children that are supposed to be following their lead. I want to talk about that first of all. The children who are supposed to be following the lead of children who are not positive role models. There was a time I first heard the word unparented parents. You can put them in that category of unparented parents. So parents that were not parented. So sometimes the parents cannot stay true to what they are making as rules or what they are supposed to model, because they don't have it. And giving what you don't have is one of the most difficult things to do. In studying character and character parenting, I'm always able to get to that point where I say that if you want to give what you don't have, all you need to do is go and get it first, then come back and give it. So when you get it first, you definitely can give it. So it's not a finality that you cannot give what you don't have. It's just that if you must give what you don't have, then you must first of all go and get it. Where to get it from is not the talk for today. So, but I'm saying that one of the reasons why a parent might model negative roles to their children, creating confusion in their head, of course, because if you say go this way and then you are going that way, you're literally creating confusion in the heads, in the minds of the people following you, in this case your children. But away from that is to also ask, how was this parent parented? Who were our own role models? Who does she follow? What were the minuses in the way she was raised or he was raised? I mean, less I'm charged for saying she all the way. Let me also say he or she. All right. So all of that. So really, I must say that it can be really frustrating for a child being raised by a father or a mother who may not have been properly raised themselves, who may not be well raised. Now, they either have not been well raised or they refused to be well raised. Yes, it is possible, because the Yoruba, one of the Yoruba analogies my mom will usually make is that she will say, ṣé wọn kọ́ ẹ ni àbí wọn kọ́ ẹ ò gbẹ̀kọ́. So what that literally means is that it's possible that those parents didn't have the opportunity of being groomed properly so they can model the roles they really would like their own children to live by. Or could it be that they were taught, they were taught, they were guided, they were trained, but they refused training. So it is possible to reject or refuse training. It is possible, very, very possible, to live away from the very things that you are supposed to hold up as values, or as values that you model. So yes, first thing I want to do is to say that it can be really frustrating and confusing for children who find themselves in that kind of situation. But you see, you don't have to stop there. That should not put a hold on you. That should not put a hold on life. That should not put a hold on you moving forward. That should actually challenge you. So there's one model I'm going to just drop here for the time that I have quickly. And the model is that whatever you missed in your parents' parenting, right? Whatever you missed getting in your parents' parenting, by miss, I mean that it was valuable, it could have been valuable, it could have been useful, could have been great to be raised that way, but you missed it. You can live your life, you can pay yourself, you can repay yourself, you can pay your children and repay yourself by ensuring that you make that thing a takeaway for your children. A lot of people play by that policy or that principle when they are talking about, I suffered, my children will not suffer. I was poor, my children will not be poor. But that's not the only sense in which you can use that principle. You can also use that principle in saying positively that I didn't get the best of home training. I will give my children the best of home training. I didn't have great role models. I survived by somehow. In fact, the evidences that I was not raised well, I see here and there in my adulthood. No problem. But you can say to yourself, I will ensure that my children are well raised. Now, question quickly. How do you begin to do that thing for your child that you didn't get? The home training you didn't get, the raising you didn't get, the grooming you didn't get, the positive role modeling you did not enjoy. How? Simple, by learning. You learn, you unlearn, you relearn. I'll lead you through it quickly. So number one is that you first unlearn. What's there to be unlearned? The things that were negative, toxic, or unproductive that you felt became a part of your life because of the way you were raised. Maybe the circumstances around your being raised, maybe the situation your parents were in. You know, for a lot of the times, people have single parents who had children out of wedlock, maybe, you know, the one we call unwanted pregnancy, and then they had the child, and suddenly they had to saunter into parenting. They were not prepared. They probably were still children themselves, so they fall into the category of unparented parents. There isn't so much of positive role modeling that an unparented parent can give to a child, except they get it. So getting what you don't have so that you can give it is actually a very smart way of recovering your life from whatever you had missed. So this is it. Unlearn the negatives. Unlearn the counterproductive. Unlearn the poor, wrong negatives. Even in your adulthood, you can unlearn them. Why are you doing that? Because you want to be able to give a better life. I do say to myself, and I think I heard it for the first time from Dr. David Oyedepo, that if you think that your predecessors failed you, don't fail your descendants. I think that is a beautiful way to recover whatever regrets you have from the way you were raised. Because right now, the picture is that you are posing a role model that is negative to your child. And for you to be able to no longer pose a negative role model to your child, you must come to terms with the fact that whatever happened in your childhood has happened. This is life. Opportunity to have a reinvention. Not by going back to your own childhood, but by continuing your adulthood towards helping your own child become. So that becomes your reward. That becomes your what other word now apart from reward? So it becomes what you hold as there's this word they say in law, something about redress. Okay, it's the redress that you have sought and gotten for yourself and for the generation ahead of you. So this is what I would say to you, the parents. I could not just address the children and say, what do you do if you have a parent that has that is a negative role model? There might not be a lot that the children can do, but there's also a lot. But to be so beautiful, if this rebirth begins from the parent, if he or she realizes that, oh, I've been a negative role model, or if they have a kind of parenting style that allows their children to talk to them, or their children have been able to talk to someone who was able to talk to them. Because every parent has their style, and their children are able to explain it better than anyone out there can do. So, being a positive role model is possible even if you are being raised by parents who didn't have positive roles they were playing in your life. It's about recovering your life back. Live your life in such a way that whatever you didn't get, you are willing to give, and you fight, go out to give. So as I bring this to a wind for today, the points I've made are clear. Number one, being a negative role model as a parent creates confusion in the heads of your children. And it brings frustration to their journey of childhood. So it's something that you should pay attention to. They may not have been able to tell you, but every negative role modeling parent knows, they know who they are. I mean, nobody needs to tell you that as a prophet trying to prophesy about you to you. You know you. Away from that is to tell you how that it's not all lost and it's not all wasted. You can unlearn those negative things. Then you can learn new things you never knew before. Like you're watching this video, it's a way of learning. Then the third one is to relearn whatever. So relearn means that learning is continuum. Is a continuum. So you don't ever stop. Yes, you learned and you started, but relearning takes place on a continuous basis, such that before long, there's a far difference between the you that started and the you of now or then. I really hope that this has helped. And for the children, let me leave a few words. The first thing is to pray that your parents realize what they are doing to you. Because if they do, it makes the job easier. The second thing is to learn all you can from other people who model good roles around you. Could be an uncle, could be a neighbor, but be careful. Don't get carried away. The fact that they are role modeling certain things to you does not automatically make them your parents. So this is not to say that relegate your parents to the background and tell them that I found replacement for you guys. You know, not that kind, not in that sense. but you can learn from everyone who is doing it right to the best of your understanding around you. So the things you are missing in your parents, look for adults who have it. Then look for shows like mine. Look for videos like people that people like me produce that are talking about how you can be helped. Talk to great aunties. Talk to a good person in church who is in charge of the teenage or young people's group. Look for friends who have parents who are great role models, and then just glean and continue to glean until it's rubbing off strongly on you and positively. That might take a while, but it surely will give you a positive result. The next thing is, okay, I did say pray that your parents realize so that they can go ahead and do what's right. The other part of it is that you learn from people in your space, different categories of people. I just mentioned a few of them who can influence your life positively. All right, so that might actually be everything I'm able to handle today. If you're watching this video and you happen to have this kind of situation, I'm also willing to help you. Now, remember that I do not put myself out there as an expert. I'm a learner. In learning, I gather other people who are interested in learning, and we're able to form a community of people who are ever learning. So I am for the ever learning school. All I'm offering is that if any child who is watching this happens to be in that kind of situation and you need help, I'm also offering that you can leave me a message and I'll see how I can help. One of the things about help is where I might not have the direct things that you need to tell you, I will definitely know someone who can help. I believe that's good enough. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Temi, Loluwa, Akintoeshe. Thank you, Debbie from RCV. I can see you at the back end. And thank you, Mr. Olusola-Obasa, our guy at the top. I can see that you're joining. So great to have you. So for everyone who is going to watch this, the clear lessons today are that not every parent will start off as a great role model. If you find yourself in the hands, arms, or laps of parents who do not really know what to do not write off yourself and do not write off the situation. You can also attend the National Character Parenting Summit because you'll learn a lot from it. You hear people talking about, there's some role models you are seeing today. They will now tell you how that they were not even they didn't have good role models and then they turned out. That will just give you the picture. When somebody paints a picture of your future to you and it's so vivid and candid. Don't miss the National Character Parenting Summit. It's going to be on August 3rd, 2024. And the theme is role modeling in character parenting. You need to know more. I'll be back by the grace of God on Friday next week. But before Friday next week, NCPS is clocking 10 in this year. And that's really great. It feels really good. We've been doing publicities and we'll continue to. There's an aspect of it that we're introducing beginning tomorrow. I'm hoping that we're able to sustain for Saturday's build up to our countdown storytelling. So we're doing storytelling countdown. We're bringing people who have either volunteered or done one thing or the other around NCPS on an IG live, and it's going to be on my own Instagram page or account. If you'd like to join, I would really love to have you. It's going to be at 12 noon. Tomorrow I'll be talking to Mr. Oluwarotimi Emmanuel. He is the Director of Planning for this year. However, he's been around NCPS for long on different platforms. So we're going to be speaking to them and knowing what has NCPS meant to them, what is their story, what have they picked, and then which of the themes of the year, of the different years, successive years, did so greatly for them. So that will be it. I'll need to run now, and I'm truly expecting that you have a beautiful weekend and that God blesses you in all that you do. Let's meet tomorrow at 12 on IG, and then next Friday I will be here by the grace of God. Oh, next Friday I'm most likely going to be in Port Harcourt. I will try, if I'm able, to squeeze time out about 5 to do this. I really will try to do that. So, because I see it as a responsibility to show up here and to do this. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's time for me to say my goodbyes, and I'm going to make my music play louder. What I'm doing with this music is I'm escorting you home if you are still in traffic, because it's been a rainy day. I'm accompanying you in your car. Of course, I don't expect you to be watching a video while you're driving, but maybe somebody is watching this video while you're driving, no wahala. Or you're catching up late. I'm just saying, have a beautiful weekend. Let your weekend be as sleek and beautiful as this music is. Bye now, everyone. Cheers.